Here we are at the Cardinal, Mike's home track. I want to see what his game looks like outside, see where some of his faults are coming from. This is a par 4. All you're trying to do is just make a small little draw off the right tree there. Overdraw mine just a touch. Mike pushes his a little bit out to the right. This is the south. There's Bermuda, and it is in full, thick, lush mode.
Go hard. Get right behind it.
Just get up and down from there, basically. That's the smart play for sure.
The fairways are like 40 yards wide at best on a lot of these holes. So now, don't hit the fairway, you're out of position.
Yes. Very well done. That's awesome. It's not enough club for that lie and my non-existent right glute.
Didn't get really a good warm-up, tight from travel, but hey, those are excuses to start. I only missed the fairway by maybe 10, 15 feet here, but again, you got this dicey lie that you need to get onto the green. I'm just trying to hit it at the flag, pin high.
Good shot.
Thanks.
Now, where Mike missed it is the correct side. The other side, the ball's basically going to roll down about maybe 30 to 40 feet. It's crazy.
Such a good shot.
Undulated. So this is a great spot to miss from here. Mike hits a great shot in from this position. Now, where that pencil mark is, where I'm on the green right here, and you can see everything is drastically down here. There's a 5 degrees down here that I'm going to putt over. I actually thought I went back uphill because it was so downhill first. I guess it does technically go back uphill, but then I missed the hole because I misjudged how down it was. And yep, great putt.
Ooh, boy. Get off the green.
And I putted it off the green. This is awesome. Now, Mike's up top here. He's got his bogey putt from his great chip. Good play from behind that tree. Puts a great stroke on it. And
there you go. Very nice.
He's a good putter. Fantastic. It's fun to watch. All I got to do is bang this directly back up this hill. It is very uphill, obviously, from that green map I showed you. I get it about halfway there. Great putt.
The timid back up the hill.
Yeah.
Now I've got this, I don't know,
Don't want to run it past.
6-footer.
Runs it short.
Man, like, all right, let's just bang it in there. We know it's basically uphill. And just like push it, miss it the right side. So good 4-putt to start. Awesome. All right, taking a peek at Mike's swing here now. What we're working on is you can see how the hands work in early, and then he picks that club up late, and it gets on the other side of his hands, and then he can't drop it down because he doesn't know that it's on the other side of his hands. Look at my swing, which is not awesome either. What you're going to see is hands low. I don't get nearly as far across the line, and then I push the club back behind me so I have a more consistent impact position than Mike does. Mike, we want to get that club a little bit more on the other side of his hands from a little bit more of a neutral takeaway.
Okay.
If I was maybe about 4 inches to the right, that ball would have bounced right and trundled down this hill, which would have put me, putting easily. But what are you going to do? Missed your target. Now I got to get up and down from this shot. I actually hit it really well. I'm happy with it, and there's no way that you can keep that anywhere near the pin from that spot. Don't mind the fans in the distance. You might hear that going on. The fans are to keep the greens cool. These are bent greens, not Bermuda, so they can't stand the heat too much. Mike's got his birdie putt here. There's a pretty good roll on it, but just a little bit out to the left. I've got my putt up here.
Good par. Good par.
14, 15 feet. I'm just trying to get this maybe right side of the cup, put a good pace on it here. I don't normally make these putts. I've been working on it. I'm watching these videos, though. It's indoor, outdoor. I'm a little bit more bent over than I want to be from my chest, but I make the putt. Pretty pumped. Great up and down. All right, coming up to hole number 3. It's a short par 4, but it's tight. Everything on the right in that tree line is out of bounds, so you can't be anywhere near that. And on the left, there's a water hazard.
Okay.
You got about 20 yards of fairway to work with. You're just trying to get something out there, 240, 250, and then hit a wedge up onto that green.
Thanks. I like to play.
I like to play.
All right, so we got Mike up
like it.
first.
Right
He's
at
at
it?
55 yards to that pin. We're gonna go right at it. But you're gonna see he's literally just off the fairway, and it's a super dicey lie, and I can't tell you how thick this Bermuda is. It just wants to grab everything. It's so strong. Mike hits a shot,
Wow.
That
and it
is
just
thick
grabs
rough.
his club, opens it up. You can see it just explode out of there. Now mine stayed on the fairway. I'm just gonna try and throw a wedge up there. Nothing too fancy. I've got a number.
Nice.
Hit a half
Good.
decent shot here. First wedge shot of the day, basically. All right, Mike's up, trying to save par here, just trying to chip this close. Got a little bit of an iffy lie here, and gets a little bit of a flyer. You can see it just jump right out of there with no spin and just trundles away from that hole. All right, Mike's up with his par putt, maybe 20 so feet. It's a pretty good stroke on it here, but it just starts peeling away from that cup, and I'm like, okay, all right, it's clearly breaking away from that. So now I'm gonna want to start this maybe a cup or so outside left, just put a good pace on it, and I'm like, oh, this might go in, and it just stays out there, never turns in.
Good luck.
All right, what are you gonna
Nice.
do? Easy 2-putt. On to the next for me. Mike's got, I think, 5 feet here for his bogey, and just pushes it on that line. Now we've got the 4th hole. It's actually a relatively
goodness,
easy
that
par,
is so
par
good.
5. One of the easier holes on the Cardinal. All you got to do is hit a little cut or draw towards the middle of the fairway. You can actually miss it pretty far left here, so I'm gonna aim at the left edge of the bunker and hit a little cut into that. We both hit really good drives here. Mike's got, I think,
Just over that center bunker.
120, if I remember,
What's
to the
your-
green here.
Yeah.
All we're trying to do is get this on the green from this number.
Of that center bunker.
I like that. Yeah.
So from here, Mike's just trying to hit it over the center bunker. He's trying to hit a little draw away from the hazard on the right. Face open and a little heely again. So the ball goes a little bit out to the right here. Still in play, not the end of the world. Obviously, he's not happy with that. I got a 5-iron here. We actually didn't quite get the number right on the
Down just
pin.
a
The
little
pin was
bit,
actually
kick right.
back, and I think
Oh,
it was
good
showing
one
it
up.
was in
One
the
more
middle of
club.
the green on the pin sheet. Not the end of the
Fear
world,
of being
though.
long.
So we actually missed a shot on Mike's here. He was just right of the green, but just almost in the hazard. He punched it out. It got a terrible lie, of course, and just ran across the green to where he is here. He chips this
That
back
is
onto the
really good from there.
Now I've got maybe 40 feet from here. You can see that that ball did not roll whatsoever from that 5-iron. Didn't help. But I'm just trying to get this basically just a little bit right of Mike. And I know it's going to trundle off to the right, but it hits this first hill and kicks it left, and it doesn't start really breaking to the right. So now I actually hit a really good pace putt, but I'm 6 feet, and it just lips out hard. Nice 3-putt from there. But
Why you gotta be like that, golf?
and yeah, golf's like that sometimes. Now we got Mike's par putt here. Absolutely drills it right in the middle.
Beauty. Great par. All right, so we're both 3 over coming into the shovel. How are
Yeah.
we feeling so far?
I feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
Not horrible, but I feel like I just don't know where the ball's quite going. Like I was trying to play a draw there,
Right.
a cut.
Yeah.
I tried to play a cut off 4, it drew, or off 3, it drew. So yeah, just not super comfortable.
Okay.
How about
yeah,
you?
those start lines. Well, other than putting, it's not too bad. Well,
Yeah, you're hitting it well. So my biggest question, or I think I told you about this a couple weeks ago, but like, remember I was like, everything feels hard.
Okay.
Like I'm like
fighting it.
even just so like the last couple, because I know what I always see when I see you is like the backswing just looks like it's so easy, and all your effort is into actually impact, and mine's like effort. So the last couple swings I was like, no, you just take like it's an easy backswing and then come through. But maybe that's why I left the face wide open. But I don't.
I mean, it's only open probably 2 degrees, 3 degrees. It's the hard part sometimes, but yeah, I mean, one setup, right? So setup's better, right? It's gonna feel uncomfortable, but it is better, which is good. It's letting you turn more through that shot.
It feels so much better. Like, I mean, it's. I'm like, I'm like, it feels different.
Right.
So it feels a little uncomfortable, but like, it allows me to swing. I can feel it allow me to swing better. I just can't believe I was doing that.
The squat
thing.
Yeah, that's all right. All right, well, let's get after it. Let's demolish the shovel.
Okay.
Now on this shot, you're gonna see Mike's swing here actually really get down the line. You're gonna see the hands work in, club
That
go
is so
up,
good.
and it gets a little bit across the line for him, and that's why he's hitting these little fades.
Beauty.
So he's hitting a little bit of the heel. So we've got a really good sign of what we're working on. Now the shovel, yeah, it's hard, it's tight. OB on the right, water on the left. All you're trying to do is say I want about 250.
That is. I can never tell if it's going to be a jumper out of this rough.
I think it will.
Okay. It's thinner.
Because it's thin, and yeah, I think it's gonna.
So we think it's going to be a jumper out of this, and can't go left, you can't go right. Again, right's OB,
Yeah. I mean, worst case, I'm short a little bit.
left's the
Up in
water.
towards that
Greens, yeah, or the flag's just a little bit front right.
flag.
This
Hook
is above
lie.
my feet quite a lot. I'm just trying to hook it basically off the right side of the far back
Not
bushes,
hooking though.
and I hit it dead straight in there.
Yeah, definitely a flyer though.
About middle, like pin high, just
Yeah,
slightly
good
past
call.
the pin. Mike hit a great drive in here. He's in position A.
Oh, I love that line. Yep.
And he's got a great line into it here. We were sort of debating what club to hit, and honestly, I feel like I gave him a bad number because he ended up hitting his. He's trying to get eaten by a wasp here, but he hit his really well, just didn't draw, and then you're gonna see where we ended up in these spots, which is again you're gonna see you can't miss in some spots at the Cardinal. It is just so penal if you can't hit the green. Sometimes it's better to miss crazy long or crazy short because your up and down percentage is gonna go up. So it's a pretty good shot here. It just doesn't draw at all for him. But yeah, you're gonna see in a second here where we end up. It is
Okay. Good club selection.
less than ideal. All right, so this is where Mike ended up. He's basically almost pin high, but now we've got this giant mound. He's just trying to obviously get this to just, stop at the very tippity top of the mound, and from there it's a 5-degree slope down to where that pin is, maybe at a 3-degree slope, give or take, and the whole green slopes all the way from us here. So it's like you can't really hit it too far past because then you'll literally roll off the green.
How does that
Mike
stop
hits
there?
this.
That is unbelievable.
I feel like I had to fly it.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys can see in the video how undulating these greens are.
All right, so this is where I took on way too much. I should have been smart and hit this chip shot out to the right and had a putt at it. But instead, I'm like, okay, let me land this just onto the fringe and let it trundle down. And it lands maybe half a foot short, and the Bermuda just eats it. Now I'm gonna double chip. Just can't do that. Here's Mike's ball. Like, if he had another three ball revolutions, maybe that ball would have rolled down. He would have had to put back at no big deal. And now he just can't keep that ball above anywhere near that pin. From here, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna putt this up the mound. One of these times as you get closer to it, as long as the Bermuda is not going back into us, yeah, you can putt this. For me, you can see how high I'm trying to putt this ball. You're gonna see this go up the mound and just watch this peel across. I almost make it, and then it slides by like a couple feet. Now here's Mike's bogey putt. 7 feet, good stroke. Just
Man, they're
rolled
so
past.
fast. This is
I like
crazy.
how aggressive he is.
Yeah, that was up.
But man, these greens are really, really fast. They're way faster than the practice greens where we're still obviously trying to get comfortable on them. I'm just trying to make this bogey putt. I think it's going to slide just a little bit to the left here. Again, just trying to give it good pace, get it there. It is still uphill a ton. I think it's like 3 degrees uphill into this putt here. Yep, right in the middle. I like it. All right, now we've got the next hole, the shovel. It's a tight par 4. It's not really long, but again, you've got 20-yard wide fairway. You've got OB all up the right side, and then you got a creek off to the left. So you sort of have to hit a bit of a draw. You don't have to hit it really far. Mike hits is obviously a little
Safe
bit
play.
more cutty than he wants. Watching back into this, I think actually bombing driver might be the play here. It gets wider as you go. That might be the play, but Mike's got to chip this out here. Takes on actually a little bit more than I would have liked, but he gets away with it. No big deal. Gets himself back in a good position in the fairway here. I'm just going to hit a little knockdown, pitching wedge here, just trying to get it right of that flag. Hit it good.
Thanks.
But again, this green's super undulating. I have no idea how it's going to bounce once it gets up there. Mike's trying to get up and down from 70, 80 yards, give or take. Hits a great shot into that
Also
green.
very nice.
Here's Mike's par putt. Man, what a good stroke on it, but just a hair too hard. Otherwise, that would have for sure fallen in from that, that green read.
Beauty of line. Just a little too hard.
Now I've got my birdie putt here. It's back up the hill. I just watched Mike slide across aggressively.
I feel like they're a little quicker than the practice green was, though, which is always a little frustrating.
And I totally just coaxed myself into not hitting this hard enough because I just jinxed myself saying, oh, they're definitely faster. So guess what I'm going to do here? Not hit it hard enough to get to the hole. But easy par, no big deal.
Okay.
We're going to go on to the next. Mike's going to clean this up because he's basically automatic from this distance. Again, fantastic putter.
Very nice. Great putt.
Now we've got the 7th hole here coming up. It is a par 4, tight fairway where it runs out. We're trying to get it between the trees and the water. It's about 30-yard wide fairway again that you got to work with. So I'm just going to hit a little soft 3-wood out here. Nice little draw on it. Not really liking my swing, but it's working out. And it's been the fairway. Mike is also in the fairway, just on another hole. And we've got a little in, up, and down. That's that pattern that we're definitely working on for the rest of the week, which you're going to see later in episodes. So he tugs us a little bit to the left. I think I have a pitching wedge in here.
Come on,
Man,
draw
I thought
a
I
little
hit
bit.
a really good shot here. Didn't draw, but
Nope.
should have
No
been
draw.
the number for sure.
No draw.
I'm like, all right, no big
Nice
deal.
meatball.
What are we going to do? We're going to be up there. Now, bad camera angle here at the beginning. It'll sort itself out in a second here, but you're going to see Mike's just about past pin high here, but this is just such a bad spot. Hopefully you can see in the video. It's obviously that green's well above him, and then everything runs away from him. And you're going to see the lie here in a second is not so good. And this Bermuda lies they're just brutal. Camera's going to tilt down here in a second just before the shots hit. You're going to see this shot here. He actually hits it really, really well. But look at that lie. And it's just, you're going to have no spin on that ball. He lands in a great spot, but just trundles
It's pretty
out.
good from that lie, though.
And right near my ball. We're both off the green. So I hit that, but the pin's in the back, and it just went off. I hit actually a really, really good putt here. Off the face, I'm like, oh, might make this. Nope.
Thanks.
Look how much that slings across the hole there. And then there's Mike's par putt here. Again, really good stroke on it. I tap my par in here, get out of the way for Mike's. And I'm like, oh, this is going to
Come
go
on, turn in there.
And then it just stays out
Man,
to the right.
Good pace,
So
though.
you make bogey. Now we've got the 8th hole coming up here. It's not overly a tough par 3, but obviously got to hit the green from, I think it was 173 or something. You can't be right.
Nice.
You're going to be in the hazard. Left is this
pin
big
high.
giant hill,
Beauty.
and then a greenside bunker. I'm trying to hit mine basically at the pin with a little draw, get it on the green, and I started about halfway between the flag and the pin,
That's a good pull.
and it
Get in that bunker.
draws
Oh,
directly
yeah.
into that bunker, which is not a great spot to be in. because everything slopes severely from the bunker towards the hazard. I actually had a really good shot here. I missed it by like 3 feet to where I wanted to land it. It probably still would have rolled out a ton, but would have been a little bit closer. You can see here in Mike's practice swings how softly you got to hit this. If his ball had landed maybe a foot or so right of this, it would have been right by the flag. Look at these little short little practice swings Mike's taking. That's how downhill this putt is. And he, you know, he's going to talk about it in just a second here, but it's, again, a really good putt. It's just, I can't remember what the slope is. Again, it's probably like 5-6 degrees of slope down this. Watch this thing just sling. And then it just keeps running out.
Wow. I breathed on that thing.
Yeah, that was a good putt. Okay.
Now Mike's going to clean up his par putt, which is a great par. Anytime you can shoot par, it's awesome scores.
Very nice.
Right in
Great
the
par.
heart.
Great
Very nice.
par.
Now I've got mine. It's 12 to, well, no, that's not true. It's probably 14 to 16 feet back up the hill here. Again, I thought I hit it really well. Just came up short.
Just not
What are you gonna
hard
do? It's
enough.
like, oh, the greens are too slow, but yeah, it's uphill, man. You just got to hit it. Now we've got the 9th hole, the last hole of our round here before we get into practice mode. You basically are forced to hit a draw into this, or you got to lay up short of that. So we both try and hit a bit of a draw. Mike cuts just a hair. I start mine
Keep
a little further
working
right
hard.
than I want, and then doesn't draw back enough to it.
Sit.
So we end up both being in not great positions. Mike's ends up rolling into almost the middle of the fairway bunker here. I forget where we had in, maybe like 150-ish, somewhere in there. He clips his pretty well, but just comes up just a hair short into that green side bunker. That's a delicious
glute
lie
just
here where
Shuts right off.
I just struggle with
Oh,
them.
did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Short.
Yeah. I got lucky, got through this tree, and I'm short on the green here. Pretty good lie, actually, so I'm just trying to hit this little low chip into this green, have it like just get over this crest of this, and then trundle down to the hole. I hit it pretty well. Can't really complain on that whatsoever.
Thanks.
And then we've got Mike in the bunker here. Pretty uphill lie. Hits a great shot here.
So good from that lie.
Elevating it. Look at that undulation all on that green. You're going to see the green map here in a second.
Yeah.
It's just got tons and tons of slope all over this place. The bin's actually in a like pretty flat area, which is almost hard because you're like, okay, I just watched it sling and slope, and then it doesn't move much from my spot. So I'm going to make another bogey here to finish up the round for us. But Mike's got his par putt here. Look at that green map. Look at all those. There's like 8s on here, 8s, 7s. It's just bonkers all over this map. Mike actually thought this broke to the left, but obviously you look at the green map roughly where you were, and it's like, okay, it just breaks to the right, just a hair. It's so tough to gauge the green complexes here. They're such subtle breaks in some spots. Can't miss the fairways, can't miss the greens, and then the greens are tough. It's just a tough track.
Then it definitely looks like it's peeling this way.
All right, now we're going to get into practice mode. So I'm going to give some tips to Mike. We're going to hit some second shots. We're going to be chatting about some things. And what you're going to see in this shot here is a pretty good golf swing. He's trying to hit a cut, but his tendency, and he doesn't quite feel it too much, and he didn't know exactly why he's getting this really bad ball flight, is he is hitting this into the heel with his driver. He sets up the ball too much into the heel for this. You can see right there, right out of the heel. And so this creates this big slinging slice, whatever you want to call it, big fade, ends up being in the right rough. And he's just like, man, I can't believe I hit that. It's not that bad of a swing, but he hit it out of the heel, and that's just you're gonna gear effect it across, right? I hit mine, half decent swing, hit the middle of club face, ends up being an okay spot. But we're a little bit less worried about that. We're gonna talk about what Mike needs in his swing and in his game, and we're day one of boot camp, so there's going to be more to this. But perfect example why you can't miss the fairway here. It's just so penal off the fairway. Can't advance your ball.
Grab it and turn it down.
Like, that's a good golf swing.
Yeah, I've never seen.
Just smothers it. And then again, where's his ball? Can't really see it. Like, this is craziness. This is almost
really
like, you know, championship quality. Like, you got to hit the fairways. It's just bonkers here. Like, and they aren't wide. Like, they're 40, 30, 40 yards wide. You got to be more precise here, which is hard, right? Especially as Mike hits the ball pretty far. It gets harder. Your dispersion just gets larger as you hit it further. It's a positive, but obviously you got to hit fairways when the roughs are just
I like that.
so penal like this. Now they're going to get a little bit easier. Mike said later in the season they're going to start drying out, but right now it's almost a full shot penalty if you get some of these lies out there. Now you're going to see this little flighted wedge shot, which we're going to work. I think on day 7 we worked on it, and he was starting to really get it. This not so superb shot, but here we are. We're on the green now. He's got his par putt here. Again, great putter. If we can get him to hit more greens again, get that driver going, which, you know, we're gonna get to in the next couple days. Obviously, you guys are gonna see some stuff from Tyler. Videotaped the range session and videotaped our last round. Awesome stuff, right? So this is day 1. Then we work on it throughout the whole rest of the week. I'm not
Very
sure
good
why he's not
putt.
happy with this. I would be ecstatic with a putt like that.
Right.
But here I've got my eagle putt here. Again, I'm just trying to get this close to the hole. I think I even said it. I'm like, I'm going to miss this. I would love to make an eagle at this point. I know I'm a couple over. It's just a little bit of a fun round. But I hit this, and I'm like, all right, this might go in. And it just slides by. It's about tapping.
I'm trying to jinx myself into actually making it.
Good birdie.
Thanks.
On the next hole here, I'm going to slow down Mike's swing here so we can really see the tendency. So what we're going to see is the hands go in really early. Boom, right there. And then the arms go up and the club gets a little bit across. That's not a good move pattern that he likes. And again, it gets him a little bit steeper as he's coming down from the top. Now, for myself, I also have an inside takeaway. Mine's mainly because my arms don't elevate soon enough, and then I basically really extend right off the golf ball. I have trouble loading into my trail glute. I have some feels that I'm going to work on, but I can't really practice too much right now because I actually have a torn labrum, so I'm trying to limit my ball count to just playing and having fun out there right now. I'm going to work on my swing in the winter.
A little bit.
Mike hits a good one here, just actually a bit too flush, and then it didn't quite cut for his target line, so it ends up just being a little bit
Just hit it
past
really good.
I did hit it good.
Yeah, people are gonna be like, sounds like he's taking
Now, the
a leak."
next couple holes are actually
Here's the
really
driver
beautiful holes. They're, again, not overly easy, but are a nice stretch of beautiful holes. I had a pretty good shot in here. I'm going to get myself a birdie putt. I like it. Let's go.
Shot.
Now, here's Mike's shot again. He just barely missed the green. It bounced off and then into this bunker. He hits a superb bunker shot from there. Like, that is unbelievable. So good.
That is amazing.
What
What a
look how nice
shot.
this hole looks. All right,
What a-
now I got
what a
my birdie
player.
putt here. I'm trying to remember. It was maybe like
Yes, subtly.
10, 12 feet, some along the lines of this. Again, just picking a good spot. Put a good run on it, and I'm like, and I didn't make it there. Again, just needed to give it a little more pace, and it would have been in. But
Hit it. Might have had it.
the par putt.
Good putt.
Thanks.
Now we've got Mike's par
you.
putt coming up here from his
Get yours. Bang that
amazing
in.
bunker shot. If we were playing match play, I'd probably just give it to him because he constantly makes these. I think in the entire round, he only missed 2 of these. One of them was a push. The other one was a bad read, obviously.
What?
Middle heart. Now we've got Pete Dye's hardest par 3. Mike absolutely crushes this ball.
That
Like,
was struck really well.
so good,
Modest
but it
draw.
just stays on a line. And then because he hit it so well, it actually goes over the back of the green but what are you going to do when you hit the ball really well? I'm just trying to hit this basically just left of that bunker, a little draw. Hit it really well. I think it was a 5-iron if I remember right. Happy with that shot. Anytime you can get this ball anywhere near the green, should be awesome. The ball did bounce right, not the end of the world. Here's Mike's shot. I can't remember where he landed, but that's where he is. Again, the rough. Okay, it's like nightmare feel. So he doesn't get it on. Chips this one pretty nicely though, if I remember off the top of my head. Yeah, little Jordan Spieth style.
Go in one time.
I thought I was going to go in and
Do it.
slide.
Just fear.
By. And then I've got my birdie putt here. This is not in birdie putt range.
Putt.
Mike obviously cleans that up for a bogey. And then, so this is a little bit uphill and then back downhill. I think you can just sort of see the grain where it starts going back downhill. So I'm like, okay, if I can just get it on the other side of this mound, it's going to trundle down to that hole. Got my start line, put a really good stroke on it, and I'm thinking, oh, this might go in. And it just dies.
Oh.
What are you going to do? So, obviously, getting the general pace of the greens down, but now I'm leaving them a bit short. Another pretty hole here to play. It's par 4. Just trying to draw it into the middle of this murdered fairway. Mike just overdraws this a hair too much, but again, beautiful looking hole. Hard landing area. I think this one's like 40 yards wide. Again, I'm just trying to follow Mike, just slightly less draw on mine.
Beauty.
Mike just overdrew this by, I don't know, 10, 15 feet, give or take. Little dicey lie here, down below his feet. He doesn't like it, but it's actually a really good shot from
he did
that
jam
lie. Yeah, really good. I'm just trying to hit a little low-flighted, wedge shot in here. That's probably my least attempt. I was really worried about going long to this flag from where it was on the green, and I left myself a little too short, and now I've got to putt over this ridge, and I'm like, okay, just get over the ridge because it'll just die down to this, and it just stops on the top of the ridge here. Golly, another couple inches and I would have slid down to that cup. Mike does almost the opposite of that, and he powers it over that and runs it by. So if we would have combined our 2/8s, we would have been maybe a little too easy tap-ins. But again, what do you know? Mike's got 5 feet, maybe 6 feet at the most for his par putt here. And yep,
Nice
no
par.
doubt. Now I've got maybe about 6 feet also, give or take. And I'm like, all right, let's just get this right edge of the cup. It should break just to the left, but it is downhill, so I can't hit this too hard. Tap it, and it doesn't move,
nice
but
putt.
Luckily catches that lip. Now we've got the 14th here, which again, you can see we've got less than 40 yards to be in the fairway, and there's a fairway bunker, and there's trees, and everything to the left is out of bounds. Everything to the right is a creek. The hard part about this is if you lay up short of that fairway bunker, you've got like 180, 190 into this par 4. And then if you try and drive over it, you can sometimes hit it into the bunker, which is a fairly lipped bunker. And then if you hit it too far right, then you lock yourselves out of the trees, which you're probably going to see here in a second. So this is a tough driving hole. I started talking about how we want to start out a little bit of Mike's alignment with his driver because he's aimed a little too far left, even for him trying to hit a bit of a cut. So I'm talking about how I want to see a little bit of his left shoulder as a dress position, a little bit of his left arm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's what we got. We've got a very juicy Bermuda lie.
That's what that lie is.
You can't really tell how bad it is from that. Maybe you can tell how bad it is from there. You have some goose droppings. And then you've got...
Those are tall trees.
Yeah. So what are we doing here?
I think I got to try and drive it underneath the trees.
Drive it through that window?
Yeah, through that window. I'm honest, I was like, all right, I got to do this for the show. I'm going to try and feed this through the trees. But if I was honest, if I was playing a tournament, I would have just hit this ball out to the left and tried to hit like a little tiny cut.
Oh, don't do that.
And I ended up hitting it out to the left anyways because I hit a tree branch. That's just bad luck, but that's why you don't try to hit that shot. Safety first. Now, I've got 150 if I remember to this flag here, something like that. I hit this really well. I'm like, man, this is going to be absolutely money. I watched this ball hit the green.
Too long?
And then bounce over.
I didn't even ask.
Oh my gosh, it's all the way in the back.
And that's why having proper pin sheets is important, but you gotta still check them, right? Now, here's Mike hitting a really good shot, just obviously just a touch too hard. All right, so yeah, there's that pin right at the back. And hopefully you can see this, why you can't miss any of these greens. So Mike ran his a little long. I'm gonna walk into the shot here. So I'm about 5'10", and you can see that, like that's five feet from here to there. And
Oh my
I mean, I
gosh,
only missed
what a shot.
this by probably like a foot maybe. If I had a little bit more, I would have stayed on the green. But now, and then look at that. Look at the rough. Look at my whole wedge is gone. So this ball's sitting on the top of Bermuda, and so you can get a couple different lies. You get the ball on top of the Bermuda, middle of the Bermuda, on the bottom, and they all come out differently. I hit this not bad from where I am. Again, I'm just trying not to leave this short. I did that. I can't remember what hole I was on the shovel. I'm like, no, I'm getting this ball on the green for sure, and I'm gonna have a putt back at it. Thanks. So now we've got bogey putts coming up here, if I remember right, for both of us.
Just a little bit too.
We're just trying to
firm.
not make double bogey at this point. You know, Mike's hitting a couple other shots in there. We're trying to work on stuff. So the score doesn't really matter at this point. But I just sort of wanted to show people how consistently hard this golf course is. When if you can miss it in some bad spots, you're just making double bogeys easy here. So first things first, 40-yard wide fairways or less, and if you miss it, you're just in the thickest rough of your life. And then super undulating greens, elevated greens. This course is just tough, right? Which is great because once Mike can play golf at the Cardinal, he can play golf anywhere.
How does that not go back that way?
Look good.
Gosh.
Okay. Now we're starting to talk about Mike's
that's
alignment
minimum.
here.
Yeah.
You can see in the video,
There
he's
you go.
still neutral. So he feels like he's crazy close. I can barely see his lead arm and can't see any of his lead shoulder. But what we want to do is we want to just correct his alignment just a little bit with his shoulder so that his swing plane is better with his driver. It's just too far out to in. And then if you combine that with a heel strike, we're not in a good place for ball flight.
Beauty.
Now here, I love this because he's overcorrecting, which is great. So now he can feel, okay, that's really close. This is good. We're in a good spot where it's like, okay, what's open, what's closed. And again, this is
That's
hard to
now
do on the golf
pretty-
course. This is
pretty
where it's like
close.
score doesn't matter. We're just
That's close, yeah.
trying to get you some feels out there. And so you can see now, look at his setup there with his shoulders. That's neutral. Like, it's a great spot to be for him.
Yeah, that looks good there.
Now we need to work on that inside takeaway. You can see, boop, right there, the hands go in.
It's a good shot out of that rough, though.
And I missed the fairway here by 2 feet. Can't go for the green in 2. So I just got to punch this up here. Super excited about that. Now, last hole we're going to have on film here. Again, it's a pretty little shot in here. Just slightly push this one a bit to the right. I was trying to attack that pin. And thankfully it stays up on top of that, that mound there. Now, Mike's got basically the exact same shot in here from his little punch out into the rough. Again, we're just trying to get him some feels into the takeaway, little feels into that setup. We're going to see as he works off the golf ball here. Hands don't go nearly as much inside. Doesn't quite hit this as well. Again, this is why we're going to work on that, or we did, I guess I should say, on day 5, that low punch. Oh, we didn't want to be long. Wedge shot for him. So we're just going to clean up these. I mean, just barely off the green here. Put a good strike on it, but it just sort of bobbles off the fringe there, so it comes up just a little shorter than I would like. Not the end of the world. And then you can see Mike hit the green, but just sort of rolled back off here. Just going to throw a coin on this guy here. Could have Wesley Bryant like tapped it in, but like get out of the way here for Mike. Again, really uphill for Mike.
Same thing.
Just leaves a little bit short, but you know,
Same thing.
right in the heart. I like how aggressive he is in those short putts. So both make par to finish off, and on to the rest of boot camp.